Where were we at? I think we're just going to talk about this man in the top right side, first and foremost. He's the pink Protoss player from Good Game Gaming. Patience. And in the bottom left side, his, well, fellow esports enthusiast. He's the red Terran player. He's from China. He is Time. Alright. Patience going for the quick nexus here, it would seem. Where's Time? Well, I would anticipate Time kind of open up with the macro kind of play. Then afterwards, just, you know, full on aggression, non-stop, at all points in time. Don't let a moment go to waste where you could try to get units across the field and into your opponent's mineral line. That's what you want to do as Time, right? That's his favorite pastime overall. Patience, on the other hand. You know what? I have to admit, a bit less of a clear-cut case for me. Would anticipate that he doesn't shy away from a bit of macro. And we'll have to see whether or not he can keep up with that aggression from Time, or maybe even tries to spill some in of his own as well. Alright, so far, both players just kind of doing a run-of-the-mill TVP. Which is to be expected between these two. As the Twilight Council, again, nothing too quick out of the gate to try and do a whole bunch. Could be that he still adds on a ton of gateways, of course, and then throws that entire ordeal upside down. But so far, nothing yet. No proxies. Time does go around. Check pretty much most of the areas where there could be some sort of a proxy. He is checking out right now, trying to figure out whether or not he is being bamboozled. So far, nothing yet on that radar. Patience most likely going to get himself the blink upgrades. There's the Robo as well to accompany it. And, oh, no, actually, completely wrong here. My bad. Dark Shrine, of course. Blink should start a lot earlier, actually, if that is going to be the case, but it's not, which is why it wasn't started, so there you go. You know, I've put myself back into my place quite nicely. Alright. Anyway, what that means... Did that Reaper see the Twilight? No, it didn't. Okay, that would be a tell, right? Seeing that there's nothing going on there. What do we have stealth detection-wise here for our red Terran? So far, nothing. Zip, nada. Nidity yet. But he could still try to go for the tech lab here with that starport. That does seem to be relatively close together. It's not a uncommon thing to get that Raven out versus Protoss. Not just for the Dark Templars. Potential threat, but also, of course, for, well, all the other great stuff that they do against Protoss. Shutting down observers, disabling all sorts of very strong robo units, all that great stuff. Well, anyway, seems like okay, the starport's just gonna get its own tech lab for switching over with the barracks. So again, nothing there to really see those DTs. We do have the engineering bay on the way, but that is quite a ways off before that is going to be doing anything here. One DT towards the natural. And what's the scan energy situation like? It's still 10 seconds just for the first scan. GG. Wow. Alright. What a game. A little bit lackluster there, unfortunately. Ended a bit quicker than I had anticipated myself as well. Thought that Time would at least try to hold it up until the first scan would be available. But nope. Apparently not. Apparently not. That's not going to be his cup of tea. So yeah. Patience. I think he killed maybe 2, maybe 1 SCV. And Time's out of there. That's what happens when you don't get the scan on your opponent's tech tree, of course. And that is what happens in that situation. The Reaper didn't manage to really acquire any type of information, and ultimately that does cause you to lose the game now and again, if that does happen as a Terran, right? Anyone who's played Terran does know this, after all. I would assume, unless if you play Terran on my level, then you know, but you could be excused not knowing that. Alright, Romanticide. Second map. Oh. Never mind. Server's Taiwan. Oh. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Having to look underneath my microphone here in order to read the chat. I realize I'm doing like weird neck movements here, but it's all about seeing the chat right there. What's up, Size Matters? How you doing, my friend? What's cooking? I need to leave this. It's fine. The thing about my microphone, I don't know why, but look at this. I can push it down and then it comes up again on its own. Normally it would be able to stay around this area, but now it's just like a horse. Kind of after it had any type of water, right, from the watering pit, it just kind of comes up again. Okay, there we go. I think I got... Never mind. It's fine, it's fine. Well, you know, it's still a little bit disappointing for me. It's not just during casting and stuff, right? It's continuously. It's being like, putting it down and then it's like, alright, nope. But anyway. As long as it doesn't block my face. I mean, that's going to be eventually the case, right? It's just gonna keep going further upwards until we can't see anything anymore. I can't see the screen and you guys can't see my face. Alright, anyway, here we are in the bottom right side, a pink Protoss player. They managed to win that first game off of the back of a bit of cheese. He is Patience. And giving up as soon as he lost about 2 SCVs, the Red Terran player from China, Kaizi Gaming's time. Oh, accidentally pressed the print screen button there. Do want to keep this moment in memory forever. To be fair, I am also broadcasting this and video recording the entire event, so I suppose pictures aren't entirely necessary. So yeah, now I feel like I'm gonna have to go through the entire list again of things of early game and what we expect from these two players, when I just did that a while ago. But I guess we could talk about those DTs, I suppose, right? I mean, time. It's just a bad situation. It's quite the horrendous situation because, well, I mean, you start losing in one base, the SCVs. They all have to run to the other one. I guess you can keep them on that base for a while because you are going to have scan in 10 seconds. 10 seconds, though, is still a long time for DTs in your SCV line. So, it does still make things difficult. Of course, you also need to remember that, I mean, you only have one scan afterwards. The other orbital was about, like, 30 seconds away, which is quite a long while. Between 30 and 40 seconds, I do believe. It's a very ill-opportuned timing there for the DTs to come in full time. And yeah, I mean, not mining off of one of your bases for that long, that early in the game, I mean, that is just not something you want to be dealing with straight off the bat. So taps out, calls the GG, lets Patience have his little moment of victory, right? He's glistening in the sun. And he's going to be like, alright, well, next game, I'll try not to have that happen. I'll try to get some scouting done. And hopefully we'll just get to play a regular game instead. It shows that either time a little bit tilted today. And didn't want to really play a game where somebody goes DTs. That could be one part. Or he's feeling very, very comfortable because he's like, you know what? This is a single game. I know that I'm better than this opponent. I know that I'll be able to get this game into my victory as long as we just get a regular game going. I don't mind. It's a very odd chat going on in the chat right now. I'm sorry I called you an amigo. Awesome. Alright, well anyway. A little bit of distraction there. Hellion drop will strike as soon as the iron is hot. As soon as the medevac, the little birdie, has left the cage. And there we go. Takes his eggs on board and will deliver these Hellion babies into the Brodal's chimney. Getting the first shot not on top of the probes is actually quite a big deal here. Will diminish quite a few of those kills that he potentially could have gotten. As with Hellion drops, you know, especially when there's a shield battery as well, you kind of need to be wary. There's no shield battery in the main base though, so maybe, but that Oracle is really being difficult. 15 energy left. Yeah, it's just not gonna help anymore. Alright, well. 5 workers. Not as much as you'd imagine you'd get with 4 Hellions and a medevac. A couple of adepts looking to do a bit of the similar amount. 3 workers. I mean, they didn't die, so it's still, it does seem a little bit better. Patience here. And Time already kind of quickly tapping out of one game, probably thinking to himself, now, well, I guess I can't do that again, can I? Won't be able to quickly tap out of this one. Well, I guess he could, but then he's really up on the ropes. One slight misstep and that would be the end of it. Okay. After the Stargate, we went with the Robo Bay afterwards as well, together with the Twilight and the Forge. We'd assume we're going to see the Colossi play here with the weapon attacks. Time, what is Time up to? Still no third base. We do see Stimpack and +1 aligning quite nicely. He has a siege tank, a couple of Widow Mines, a couple of Widow medevacs on the way also. That might be his moment to go. And looks like that is going to be the case. Running across 45 army supply strong. I mean, looks a bit better as opposed to the army supply of Patience. Of course, remember, a lot of the army supply for Terran still within the production facilities. And well, he still has to run across the fields here of Romanticide, which are rather long. And that could give Patience a bit of insight as to what's coming along, give him some time to, well, get everything sorted. Which is what he's doing right now, making a couple of extra shield batteries. He's got the Chrono going on the Robo. Looking pretty sharp. Looking pretty sharp here. Time gonna still, of course, try his best with the pushing on this side. The Phoenix is kind of tanking the Widowmine shots, but not really guiding the Widowmines into the Terran opposition. Also feeling like they were trying to still run away from the Widowmine shots. And now the siege tank at a base, arm's length, really getting some work done overall, but it's taking a long time because it's only one siege tank, of course. And yeah, a lot of units did get kind of in the yellow there, and some buildings, well, almost starting to get some health damage. But it just wasn't enough there for Time. Patience, standing strong, will be able to hold on to that slight bit of pressure. It was Kind of interesting seeing the Widow Mines being combined with the Siege Tank there, right? You have to wonder, maybe instead of the 4 Widow Mines, he could have been able to get himself the 3 Siege Tanks. Maybe that would have been a better way of just kind of focus firing down a Colossi or anything like that. The Widow Mines kind of, well, they dealt with the Phoenixes all right. And afterwards, there's just not much else that is happening there anymore. Little counter-aggression here from Time as he knows that his left side army is being chased. Looking for the damage here. It's getting a couple of probes for this trouble. 10 of them, 11. That's actually pretty darn good. That is actually really darn good. Oh my, that is pretty much an entire base just wiped out. The question on my mind now is that maybe Patience will have the units that he needs to just kind of take on the defenses of Time here. There's not that much remaining. All the Stalkers are going across the field. That is that Colossus as well. The Medevac, getting caught out. The Blink Stalkers right underneath. 4 Widow Mines that will no longer play a part in this oncoming advantage from Patience. I'm not sure if that is enough here at all for Time. Needs to get more infrastructure down. Needs to get more stuff to tank damage for him. Whether that is the bunkers, the command centers, or anything in between, of course. I don't think holding the ramp there was it, and I'm not even sure what else he could have done at this moment in time. It looks like he will just kind of go down in a blaze of glory here. It's very unfortunate. Maybe with the 4 Widow Mines still being available, who knows? If they got really good connections here, then maybe that would have gone his way. Anyway. Can Trovo please not ask me to log in on my 3 devices like once a week? Interesting. Once a week? Really? Is that how little we stream? Once a week? I feel like we could do better. Alright, so 2 points down. To be fair, it really did start off on the back foot there, right? At the entire thing. With the Hellions there coming in. Only getting 5 probes. Not great, not great. How am I doing? I'm doing alright. Doing pretty chill, just kind of, you know, sitting at home. It's kind of cold, but that's about it. Otherwise, doing good. Doing fine. Doing the same old, same old. Is there still a bit of reality here? I think there may be. Oh well. Maybe I'll have to reposition the green screen a little bit further forwards. The further back it is, the better actually, because I cast less of a shadow over my over the green screen behind me here. But yeah. It was 6:40 a.m. for you. Yeah, that's right. Sometimes I show up. Sometimes I don't. Usually I don't. If it is before a 9 a.m. cast, I'm like, I don't know. I do like sleeping. I do like sleeping. I did one on Saturday actually. That was at 6 a.m. for me. So that was something new. I kind of had to whisper. Couldn't quite be as boasting. Oh, time. Time was still here. Wait, we need time. I'm crazy. What is going on? What's going on? I thought... it felt like we were already in the next best of 5 here because it was taking so long. Wait. They're in a lobby? They're not in a lobby, right? Quite a mess. May need to start paying attention. Then you went over to Inu's stream. I mean, makes sense to me. He probably knows more about StarCraft than I do, so. Right. Okay, we are leaving the party. Interesting. Alright, so a little bit of a delay here, which is fine, which is all good. We're just, you know what, enjoying our stay. What's going on here? Apparently a recommended sweets. Interesting. Alright, well then, what should we discuss? Mecherino? I'm not sure. I guess what you guys would like me to talk about. I got some mints over here. We're not sponsored by them, of course. There's plenty of peppermint flavored kind of candy, refreshing breath type of things out there. A lot of them. Can't wait for the GSL tomorrow. Tomorrow! I mean, the sound should start playing, right? So that is pretty cool. Special. Who were the other two? Who were the other two? Wait, there's more. Wait, there's more. Who's playing? Those are the guys that I kind of paid attention to. Then I was like, alright, I guess I gotta do my own thing now. And I didn't really dunk into it that much anymore afterwards. The #1 sound fanboy. Alright, alright. I mean, Estrella, still better, but... I hope Sound doesn't mind me saying that. Probably not, right? Probably not. Okay. In the bottom right side, a pink Protoss. We have started again, by the way. As you have noticed by my quickly added in introduction here. We're always ready to go. Racing off. Anyway, he is Patience. From Team Good Game. And yeah, you guessed it, gaming. Top left side, the red Terran player fighting for the KC Gamers. He is Time. Some might call him Time, but I do enjoy saying a little bit of Time. Be more Australian kind of way. Time. Is that how they say it? Is that just my imagination telling me that's how they would say it? Huh. We'll have to figure that out someday. As soon as Corona is over, I'll go to Australia. Ask around. So yeah, Time really does have to dig deep here now. Can't afford to fall flat once more, because if that happens, it's just a 3-0, and a 3-0 is the last thing you want to have happen as a professional gamer. Although, to be fair, it does mean, in a way, that you're off of work a little bit earlier than normally. But most likely, he's going to try to just do some practice afterwards anyway, right? And that's the way to do it. Little SUV scout there, not finding too much. Nothing suspicious, at least. Huh. Run away. Turn around. Oh, that Reaper's gonna go down. Wow, that's a big blow. That is not supposed to happen there, guys. Peculiar. It's not something you expect either, really. Somebody like Time losing his first Reaper just like that. Oof. It's not a good sign. Does get the supply depot lifted, but needs to stop mining minerals there for a little bit. Should cancel the shade. Oh no, he doesn't. Thought he would. Now he's dead. No, he gets one Marine for his troubles, I suppose. go. Phoenix transition once again. Will be the attack route that we're taking. Attack route. Not sure which one is the English and which one is the American way of saying it. I think route is the British one, right? Pretty certain. Huh. Also, the game does seem quite a bit choppy here, doesn't it? Let's try seeing if I can have anything of input over this. Is there anything going on here? It really does not seem to be the case. Nothing that should cause a fuss. Well, we'll see. There we go, the first flight of the Phoenix. They will cross the map here in a little zippity-zap. Skadoot, skadoot. Find himself a ungodly amount of Marines and a Cyclone. Still get a couple of SCV kills though, I would imagine. As they are, of course, kind of having to gamble where are these units going to show up. They're in between both bases, so... actually, yeah, okay, the Phoenix is not even going to attempt anything here. We'll just kind of zap skadoodle and run across the map again, back to his own base. Interesting stuff. I really did think he would still attempt something here, but maybe he was afraid of getting stuck between those areas. Right, I mean the main base is pretty close to the left side wall here, with a good stim forward. Although there was no stim just quite yet, and he could know this because there's, well, maybe, yeah, he should know that, right? There's no combat shield there, so he knows that. Well, I guess concussive shell. No, it should have been that regardless, because otherwise it would be concussive shell and combat shield. So he should know. Should have known that. He has a chance there anyway. Tiny things. Does get the empty medevac here. Unfortunately, the wrong one, of course, as we say. Other one was pretty packed. Here we go. Oh, great interference matrix there. Will make this a very difficult fight for our Protoss. There's the shield battery overcharge, trying to keep the Nexus alive, but the DPS just a little bit too big. Another interference matrix does come out. Another Colossus does also make his appearance on this map. Oh, yeah, oh boy. Big Widowmine hit there as well, getting a lot of the gateway forces. The Raven also dies. The Colossi stay alive, but the Nexus has been taken out. A great push there for time. Probably the best position he's been in so far throughout the entire series here. Which has not been for too long, so... There we are. Good lifting up of these SCVs. A couple of mules as well. Available. Needs to be careful not to be too greedy. And, okay. Yeah, that's a great bit of economic damage. I mean, does it make up for the loss of a Nexus? It's debatable. It's debatable. Probably not. Probably not, but... it's a lot better than not getting any damage, right? Especially that mule. That mule was pretty high, high on lifetime. Still had a lot of fuel in the tank for that mule. Okay, Ghost Academy. Here is going to be the next step for time. It's prepping up quite rapidly for the later game versus the Protoss now. Getting the Ghost is, of course, always good against Protoss. It's not really a situation where anyone's going to be like, well, you know what, those Ghosts that you made, a little bit, just a little bit unnecessary. Unless if all you do is making Ghosts. Anyway, regardless, there are going to be disruptors. That is kind of the point I'm trying to make here. Disruptors can be quite difficult to deal with. You need definitely something other than Ghost there as well. Could be siege tanks, could be liberators also. The siege tanks maybe a little bit more difficult to make work because the disruptors do still outrange them just barely. But maybe time is going to show us the way to do this, because he is still making more siege tanks here. He's got a reasonable amount of Vikings in that production as well. And then the Ghost just spilling on through, more Marauders coming out. Interested in seeing how many Ghosts exactly we're getting. So far, just the 3 and no further production. Does he not have an armory? Oh, no, he does not have an armory just yet. Okay. It's taking him a bit to start that +2/+2. Here we go, that's the first fight. Disruptor shots. Just striking a slight edge of the army so far. Next disruptor shot, also kind of just a single unit there. The siege tanks need to find themselves a way further forward, so the Protoss army does not have as much kiting area. Protoss army does definitely want to try and get the kiting area as long as possible. The more siege ups that are required, the better it is for him. So that provides opportunity where those disruptors have a bit of free range there for a moment. That's how he managed to get that first initial siege tank killed off as well. It was as far from the front as possible. Or as close to the Protoss front as possible. Oh, this is a juicy bit of damage coming in on the right side. A big Zealot flank was warped in, but that is not going to be there now to defend. And that means the entire Protoss army has to move backwards, decides to prioritize defending this area over the one on the left. That means he will lose this base once more. Second time that he is losing this. The Zealots don't have charge yet. I think he just realized, as it's only now being started up. Oh, that is rough. It's not going to get anywhere near the amount of stuff done with those Zealots this way. Charge an absolutely crucial upgrade in those situations. The siege tanks getting preoccupied a little bit here. Unfortunately, does mean that they will go down very quickly. Disruptors just barely not getting a massive connection there, but I don't think much is needed here in the way, or shape or form of disruptor shots. I think the Protoss army was already big enough to, well, get rid of that portion of the Terran army. Now with everything together, maybe Patience needs to be a little bit more careful once again. More disruptors on the production tab. Oh, nice blink forward. Catches 2 of those Ghosts. Massive disruptor shot right there as well coming through. And that could already be the ticket here for Patience. Just maybe needs 1 more of those shots. Needs to have it happen. There we go. Colossi are going to go down, but oh, the whopping pylon there. That was about to absolutely crush this attack. Does get taken out as well, which means that this suddenly becomes a lot of a better, more cost-efficient trade for time at least. Sure, he does still lose much of everything, but at least he didn't go down with an entire Protoss army still kind of standing there, right? The Zealots being warped in on the opposite side now. And they kind of have to retreat as well. A smart choice actually, being like, alright, I can't get my reinforcements in here, let me just make it as close to my opponent as possible and just go for the counter attack instead. So I don't think they'll be able to add a lot of value in the defense at this moment in time anymore. Right? The fight probably would have been either almost over or over as soon as they've been warped in from here to here. Okay. Okay. Time just needs to be safe here. Just needs to ensure that he does not get taken out of position here. Zealots run by together with the Stalkers, kind of combining their strengths. As Marines and Marauders are scurrying across the fields here. There is already some Protoss available, but not that much at the moment. Mostly Zealots. Disruptor's going to have a big thing to do here. Okay, getting one shot onto a siege tank. It's a start, I suppose. Big run by there also coming through. And, there are the Liberators now, really making it even more difficult for those Disruptors to get the game-ending decisive blows that they do sometimes. 22 SCVs went down. Time. Not much left here for the Red Terran. Needs to get this Doom drop situation to go into his favor here. That's a nice setup. Seems like Patience will be the player to try and move to intercept that Doom drop. He's not going a full-out base race scenario here with his opponents. Good stim forward, trying to get on top of the stocks that are still being warped in. And here we are now. Very odd situation where the Protoss does want to try and break through. Struggling to get through his own infrastructure right here. You have to debate, do I let him kill more of this stuff, or is that going to make this battle go well enough? At which point is it too much of a sacrifice? How much of this infrastructure is going down? Here we go, there's a Disruptor shot. That is massive. That should be the moment where Patience does have the courage to start pushing in here with his Stalkers as well. And getting on top of those Liberators. There we are. Getting rid of most of this stuff. A quick reaction indeed. After the final volley, instantly recalling that Stalker army there towards the base that was being pressured next. And Time has to remove himself from the Protoss area once again. But he definitely dealt some significant damage there. A lot of infrastructure has gone down, right? Gateways, Robo bays. The Twilight is still standing, but actually we can probably just see it here. Stargates, right? If you do want to make that transition now into Stargate Force, a lot more difficult to do. Pretty efficient trade was taken there as well. So if Time just manages to get something else going like that, maybe this crazy Terran will be able to get a point going into his favor here. But things are looking a little bit dire as well, I have to admit. Patience has a very, very formidable economy here that is just continuously producing more and more Stalkers, more and more Disruptors as soon as the attack tree allows it once more. That's why we're only seeing really Zealots now being warped in. Zealots also pretty darn good against siege tanks. Time suddenly, look at that, finds the Nexus over here, finds a reasonable amount of probes to take out on the other side as well. Now trying to target down a couple of Stalkers. Gets as many as he, naturally could. Zealots are dealing a lot of counterattack damage as well, though. The entire Terran force being pulled away to that side as the other parts of the Protoss force now collapsing onto the planetary fortress. Are there enough SCVs to keep this alive? Disruptor shot, delaying the potential pushing in here of the Terran. Further, nice splitting, absolutely gorgeous splitting actually against those Disruptor shots 3 times. But the counterattack now once again coming back in around the Zealots. They may have maybe done chasing the Terran army, but they are not done killing SCVs. And that is all they've been doing for a while now. 37 of them being destroyed, getting on top of the production, slaying Marauders Marines in low numbers. That is quite the easy thing for them to do. I think we may be approaching the final moments here of Time as Patience just giving an absolute masterclass here in the PvT matchup. He's showing us that he is pretty darn good. Good enough to beat the best of China here, at least quite handedly. One final attempt here. Time not giving up just quite yet. How many Disruptors do we still have? 0. It's only the 2 Colossi. The Zealots, they are a big deal in this thing as well, but most of them are on the other side of the map. They are intercepting reinforcements. This base being slain, absolutely fine. No problem there for Patience. Patience needs to just defend. Probably doesn't even need to defend this base, in all honesty. He can afford to let that go as well. Does he want to let that go? That's the next question here. Takes an EMP to the face. Maybe not the worst case either, because he can still let this base go. Can even let the probes go, in all honesty. Now things are getting a bit dicey, right? This is where things can get a bit scary. Starting to lose a lot of bases. You're going to start getting on the same low amount as your opponent, but it seems like he has enough already to hold this push away. Take out the final remaining Terran opposition. Claim victory here for himself and the Protoss in the entire best of 5. Zealots are in the main base also. This is really what's happening here, right? No more mining, no more producing, and the attack of time just slowly being blown out by the wind. That's already a